This is the third time I've recorded this. For some reason, my process is not working, and I don't know why. I don't understand, but I think I've got it to work now. So I am doing a 12 by 12 layout, and I'm getting back to basics because I think sometimes we just need to go back and use our supplies that we bought ages ago before we got all the new stuff. And I've had this glitter sitting in my collection forever. I think we all have glitter, but let's be honest, nobody likes glitter falling all over the place. Here's the solution. Buy yourself some gel. If you're an Aussie, buy yourself some gel medium. I bought the gloss. I have gloss and matte, so depending what your preference is. Obviously with glitter, you're going for a shiny effect, so you would use the gloss. I did have a play before I did this, and I used my Ranger, the stuff that I bought the other day, clear textured cardstock. That was not right. That was not right. It's called... Oh, forgive me. This is the third time I've said this stuff. And I'm changing it every time I say it, so you're getting different information. If only it was recording. It's called Texture Paste Transparent Matte, and it's from Ranger. I gave that a go. Now, the glitter did work under that. It just wasn't quite as glossy. So, excuse my chair for making squeaky noises. My daughter was in here before she went to school. She, for some reason, loves to spin on the chair. And she was spinning on my chair. Now, it's really squeaky, and it's probably going to break today. But that'll just give me an excuse to buy a new one, right? So, I do need a new chair, actually. So, yeah. So, what I'm doing is I'm just mixing the glue. I'm mixing the gel medium, the glossy stuff. I'm mixing that together with the glue. So, once it dries, it's actually a part of the glue. It's not separate. So, it kind of works the same as your Ranger Stickles glitter gels. It works the same as that. So if you can't afford to buy those, or that's just not in your price range, or maybe you don't have enough storage space in your crafty space. You know, you might be someone that scraps on your kitchen table and, you know, while the kids are at school or while the kids are napping, and you don't really have space for buying all the latest new fandangle stuff. Give that a crack, because it's extremely versatile. You can use it with so many different things. Now, I cut out my title on my Cricut, and I did do an offset because I love doing that with my titles. This particular layout is supposed to be for going back and using the basics, right? So I realize a Cricut is not a basic tool. It is very much what's the word I'm looking for? It's a privilege to own one of those. It's not a given that everyone has a Cricut. However, if it's in your price range, get yourself one of them, because holy moly, they are so versatile and you can do so much with them. I haven't done a cut file for a while. I think I'll do a cut file. That's what I might do today. I haven't done one for ages. So I cut my titles out with my Cricut, and that was one of the main reasons I bought my Cricut, was because I wanted to be able to back off buying so many stickers, you know, because they work out a lot of money. And what I struggle with, I don't know if you're like this, let me know if you are, but do you struggle with having enough letters to be able to create the titles you want? For me, myself, I don't like being tied down to, I've only got 4 A's and I've got 3 E's, and that doesn't work for me anymore, because I like my titles to be whatever I want them to say. Quite often my titles are the journaling, essentially, like Mother-Daughter Day. Obviously, I've got other things to say about this particular one, but some of the things that I scrap, I make the title the embellishment on the page. So therefore, that's why I justified buying the Cricut. Now, I've got a Cricut Explore Air 2. I use this particular mat that I'm using is a one I bought from Amazon AU, and I got 3 mats for about $14. So it's a cheaper version. It's nowhere near as flexible as a Cricut mat, but everything else about it is exactly the same. Just doesn't say Cricut. So I use those mats for everything. So these are the photos that I'm scrapbooking. I am scrapping a day that I went and had a mother-daughter day with my middle child. And can I just say, if you've got the ability to do this with your children, I highly recommend it. Not because you want to ditch your other kids or anything, but I like to give my kids one-on-one time when they can get it, especially being girls. They always have the need to be heard. And the one problem that I really do have is when we're all together, it all just turns into waffle, where it's kind of, someone's trying to talk over the next kid, and then the next kid's chiming in with a different conversation, and then another kid needs something. And then, I liken it to when you pick your kids up from school and you get in the car and you say, "So how was your day?" That's all I have to say. And then the onslaught begins. And it's just, they don't fight, but they'll be giggling, they'll be laughing, there'll be almost tears, there'll be angry bits. And it's literally like the 10-minute drive home, because of traffic lights and traffic, obviously. It's just, it's just an onslaught. So it's kind of nice to get out there and just have one-on-one time with your children and learn how their individual things that they like, they love, they hate. And that makes for a much easier parenting, because you understand your children on a different level. That was something that was actually taught to us by child psychologist that we saw, because the child that's in these photos, I think I've told you before, she was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis when she was only 3. And that's an ongoing medical condition that she will have to deal with for the rest of her life. It's kind of like Crohn's disease, if you've heard of Crohn's. UC is basically you get ulcers throughout your bowel. That is what it is. And it's extremely painful if it's not well medicated and it's not kept in a non-flared state. It has a lot of health complications. So Ange was a couple of years into this, and this particular mother-daughter day was not long after she had her feeding tube taken out, and because she was on a feeding tube for a little while, and unfortunately as a result of that, she ended up, not long after this, ended up with refeeders anorexia. Now that stemmed from, I want to give you information, I want to give you knowledge about this sort of thing, because it was, to say it was hell on earth, it was something that I wouldn't want on my worst enemy, honestly. And it's awful, because all she wanted to do was eat, but she mentally couldn't. And once we got to the bottom of it all, and we have got here in Australia, I'll tell you, our medical system is amazing. When it's working like a well-oiled machine, it is fantastic. The old pandemic's chucked a bit of a spanner in the spokes, unfortunately. So, that's, everywhere in the world, no doubt, is struggling at the moment with that. But we at this particular point in our lives, and I'm eternally grateful that, we weren't in a pandemic. We weren't in a situation where, only one parent could be with the child, or that sort of thing. Because it was a family approach, and it was done as a family, and we were all involved very heavily, multiple days a week, driving an hour each direction. It was mentally, physically, emotionally exhausting and draining for us. But what it was for Angela was just next level. She has come out the other side of it, and she's now classed as a recovering anorexic. And because it can always reoccur. Anorexia nervosa is actually a mental health disease, as opposed to what I always assumed it was, which is an eating disease. Yes, obviously eating is a byproduct of the mental side of it, where your brain's telling you don't eat. The reason Angela went into this, and I will give you this information, the reason she went down this path, and she was only 8 when she was diagnosed with this, the reason she went down this path is because when she had the feeding tube, and because of the pain in her bowel and all the rest of it, she learnt as a young child that food equals pain. When I eat, I have to go to the toilet. When I have to go to the toilet, it hurts. So if I don't eat, then... So can you see how that cycle in an immature mind, it can create that problem? So unfortunately it was a lot of tough love, and it was hard yakka. Believe me, it was something out of this world. And I had family around me that supported us. Her school at the time was fantastic. My mum works for her school, for her former school. And yeah, the staff at the time were amazing. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, so we've come out the other side, which is fantastic. But if this is something that you guys would like more information about, if you'd like me to talk about it a little more, I have asked Angela if I'm allowed to discuss these 2 issues, and she has said, yep, go for it. Knowledge is power, Mum. You need to tell as many people as you can. It might help just one person, and if it helps just that one person, then I feel that we've served. Do you know what I mean? Like we've given information that we have learnt, and I'm not a doctor. I will never give medical advice. That is absolutely not ever going to come out of my mouth, because everybody's situation is unique to them. And for myself, I had no idea where to start. No clue. When I heard the term refeeders anorexia nervosa, I think I went through the you know how they list off the stages of denial, refusal to listen to, acceptance, anger, frustration, depression. Like, man, I went through the whole lot in... It was like the beginning of a Marvel movie. You know how it like goes dun 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 dun. That's what was happening to me. And I had to get my brain around it, and her father, like together, we had to get our brain around how in God's green earth do we fix this? And it was one heck of a process. And we still have days where we fall back on our knowledge and what we've learnt, and we approach things in a way that we were taught to. And so far, it's working in our favour. So, and she's currently a very healthy, very intelligent, very switched on, hilariously funny, beautiful young lady that is going to make changes in this world in a positive way. She is very, very switched on, and I am honored that she is my daughter. She is absolutely amazing. And to deal with what she has to deal with on a daily basis, I take my hat off to her. I genuinely do. She is amazing. As all my children are, in their own unique way, with whatever they are doing in their lives. I am proud of all my children. Specifically, obviously, this is Mother-Daughter Day for Angela, so that is why I'm speaking specifically for her. And yeah, so if you want to know any more about any of that information, feel free, reach out to me. Facebook link is below if you want to join the Facebook group and then be able to message me privately if that is something you would prefer to do. Alternatively, I am just about done on this page. So I will have all the stuff linked below, written down in the description, as well as my Facebook link, etc. So shameless plug, if you're one of the few that are watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, I would sincerely appreciate it, especially considering I have a giveaway coming up running for the week from the 6th of November through to the 13th of November. It will be drawn for a 2-part giveaway for money, an e-gift card to Crazy Craft Obsessions, and it's for Australia, New Zealand only, unfortunately. But that is to celebrate and to give back to you guys, and you can top up your little stash of stuff right before Christmas, and then you'll be able to scrap till your heart's content. No worries, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll chat to you soon. Bye for now.